slot. All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Give honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations. All like Akim Akwath. Learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. All right, another video through the Spirit. And basically, for this one, we're going to be looking at DNA testing now. I've done a couple videos on these, and for some reason I can't find them, so they must have got snatched off my channel. So I'm going to see if I can be slick with how I word the title, because if I use the traditional phrasing, they may take the video. So, but we're just going to deal with the fact that it's well known, yet little known. It's well known to the elites and to the bigger ups, but it's little known to the average idiot citizen, especially American, that ancestry DNA testing is not accurate. Therefore, you know, those people over there in our land can't try to use it as a piece of evidence to show that it's theirs, right? Nor can you accurately use it to determine where you come from, because it's not an accurate system, all right? The scriptures tell you how you should be doing that. And the inspiration, give me 1 second, y'all. Turn that damn radio down. They're gonna get us copywritten, god damn it. But the inspiration came from Elder Malcolm. I was listening to the live stream that the brothers were doing last night in Chicago. They usually do a stream Sunday night. I want to say it was like 8 p.m. here in Michigan, so it may have been 7 there. I forget what time they're on. They might be on the same time, but they're doing their stream, and he had mentioned it, the fact that you know how if I remember correctly, because I was also watching another video earlier that day from Elder Malcolm, so I might be getting it mixed up, but I believe it was from the stream yesterday. Elder Malcolm had mentioned how inaccurate DNA testing is, and that's, you know, as a fact. So let's look at some professionals talk about it, all right? Because what Esau likes to do, he has come up with fancy plots and schemes to take over people's land and name, landmark. Yep. Deuteronomy 19:14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit the land that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua thy power giveth thee to possess it. So now, even us, the chosen Israelites, because remember, the Amorites, Hittites, Hivites, these these Hamite heathens, and you did have some Canaanites there, because it was called the land of Canaan previously. Even we weren't allowed to just straight up pull these guys away out of the history books and completely, oh, they never existed. No, these niggas existed, and they was there before us, but the land was given us, right? So if us, the chosen people, the Israelites, can't go around erasing people's heritages, lying, you know, how much less these fucking heathens. So let's look into the script. Let's look at that video, and let's let some you know, some so-called professionals talk how shammy DNA testing is.
2000, a young black geneticist named Dr. Rick Kittles, who at the time was teaching at Howard University, sent me a letter. He's now at the University of Chicago Medical School, and he said that he was asking various African-American men if they would submit themselves to this new test. And through this test, he could trace on your mother's line where in Africa you were from. Man, that was some serious stuff.
And that's already a problem, because we know biblically that heritage is traced, your lineage is traced by who? Your father. Why? Because the father carries what? The sperm, which is literally the engine of the seed of life. The catalyst for the process of entering this earth requires you to come in as a sperm cell, literally. So that's already a problem, the way that they're tracing it by way of mitochondria, meaning they're trying to trace it by way of your mother. Well, a woman in your bloodline could have gotten R-worded by a fucking Edomite. That's why we trace things by way of what? The father. Because you are literally what your father is.
And I said, yeah, I mean, I called him right away. And I said, definitely. How badly do I want to know where I'm from in Africa? But I really wanted to know. I'd wanted to know since I was 9 years old. So, you know, let's go for it. I said, Rick, what's up, man? Where am I from in Africa? Where are my people? You know, I want to jump on a plane and go. I thought I'd buy some land, you know, get a fine little African sister, you know, to hook up. I was single at the time, don't get me wrong. I'm still single. So he said, well, we had to run, your results were anomalous. And we had to run them many times. But we finally figured out where you're from. You are descended on your mother's side from the Nubian people. Now, all African Americans, not all African Americans, but many African Americans want to be descended from one or two ethnic groups. Either the Zulu, because the Chaka Zulu, and the Zulu kicked the English in the behind in the Boer Wars, right? Until they finally were overcome. But you want to be Zulu, or you want to be Nubian. Who were the Nubians? The Nubians were the black pharaohs. And so a Nubian, and all these people wanted to be Nubians, descended from the black pharaohs. So I called Malefi first thing. I said, Malefi, I just got my results back. I am a Nubian. Where are you from? I am the true African prince. My friend Anthony Appiah, whose uncle was the Asantehene, the king of the Asante people. And when Rick Kittle sent me a certificate announcing I was Nubian, Anthony Appiah looked at it and said, what a ton of rubbish. Now, why would he say that? Well, there's a slight problem with being either Zulu or Nubian if you're African American. You know what the problem is? None of our ancestors who came here in slavery came from South Africa, the Zulu people, or from Nubia. None, zero. There's a slight problem with being either Zulu or Nubian if you're African American. You know what the problem is? None of our ancestors who came here in slavery came from South Africa, the Zulu people, or from Nubia. None, zero. When Oprah was finally in the first series, and we gave her DNA.
So that's one point in and of itself. Y'all think about that. You have that's just something that's just something I just thought about right now. If you go take one of them ancestry tests, they will tell you you're from a group of people and them niggas didn't even get pulled over here. They gonna tell you from lower mid Sudan. Nigga, did nobody get snatched up out of there? Where did we get snatched primarily from? Now, granted, did certain of us get snatched from other parts of Africa? Yes. But where were we primarily 99% snatched from dealing with Southern Kingdom? The west coast of Africa. So that's a good point in and of itself. He said you can't be Zulu or fucking Nubian, nigga. We grabbed y'all off of where? West Coast. What's on West Coast? Ghana, if I remember correctly, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, right? Come on, y'all. Don't be that easy to deceive.
Yes. Basically, the next day she went to South Africa to announce that she was opening what became the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy. She was in an auditorium of like 75,000 people or something, and she announced that she just had the test and that she was Zulu. So it broke on CNN. I was sitting in my living room minding my own business and said, Oprah Winfrey's a Zulu. So I called Rick Kittles, and I said, Rick, did you tell Oprah she was a Zulu? He goes, no, man, she made that up herself. It's a true story. It's a true story. I would lie to make you laugh, but I'm telling you a true story. So I said, Rick, are you in your lab? He said, yeah. I said, is anybody there? He said, no. I said, when the results come in, make her Zulu, man. You know? I said, you back there making it up anyway. I said, you back there making it up.
All right, and the guy who he's referring to, Dr. Rick Skittles, we're going to see later on in this video. So he's sitting there, he said, he said she wouldn't made that shit up. But we're actually going to get some of him in a 60 seconds, you know, that group, that broadcast network, they be doing the interviews. And they're going to have interviewed that guy where he basically says it on himself on camera that the accuracy is like 0.00001%. Like, come on, yo. So you see that, and they especially heavily push this to who? The tribes. Why? So that you don't have the ability to trace who you are. Okay? When it was told that they were going to, now you have the common one in Psalms 83, and sometimes I like to get it out of 1 Maccabees, the 12th chapter as well. These heathen are in league to separate us from our own heritage, and if they have to hire our own people to help do so and call them scientists and geneticists and physiologists and geologists and give them loads of money every year, then they'll do that to keep a nigga asleep. They don't care. 1 Maccabees 12 and 53, then all the heathen that were round about sought to destroy them. For, said they have no captain nor any to help them. Now therefore let us make war upon them and take away their memorial from among men. Now this was dealing specifically in the times of Judas Maccabeus and his brothers, when they were literally trying to wipe us out. And we know that this didn't stop. All right, they know that we don't have, we, for the most part, as the Israelites, not for the most part, as outright, we are not unified worldwide. There's nobody to stand up and plead our cause. Therefore, we can be taken advantage of easily with no one to help us until Yahushua gets back here and saves the elect. And these heathen know this. So they can conspire, pay people off, pay niggas off to lie, to cheat, and to steal. And it's all a part of the plot to keep us separated from knowing who we are.
Anyway, anybody believe you could take some spit and figure out a tribe? What, are you crazy? Anybody believe you could take some spit and what, are you crazy?
Found a match to a single person in the...
So now we're going to fast forward. So this is a part of that 60 seconds interview. Now there's a whole nother, it's like 7-8 minutes long. Let me see, actually. Let me do this. If you type this in on YouTube, it should come up. 60 minutes interview, ancestry DNA. And one of the video, I'm gonna leave the link for the video that we got right here under us, that I got. I'll leave a link for this one. This, yeah, see, this is the one that we're watching right now. It pops up right there by that guy, Kirimio Ahoy. He's some bugged out Jake, but he re-uploaded this for purposes that we have now. And then if you keep scrolling, the clip that I remember seeing first coming into the truth, where is it at? I know you're here somewhere, damn it. We just had you. Okay, you know what? Let me just show y'all real quick, because I got it. Oh, here we go. Yep, right there. Perfect. Right on time. This is one of them. It says, using DNA testing to prove the lie of albino history. Okay, that's the title of one of them. That's the 5-minute one. And that's the doctor right there. Dr. Richard, I think, Niddles or Skittles, whatever his name is. He gets paid good money to help keep niggas confused. And then there's another one. That's him speaking right there more recently. And there was another clip that's 8 minutes. Okay, I have it saved to my watch later. Let me see though. Let me see. Oh, I was looking right at it. Yep. African Americans, African ancestry DNA hoax. All right, I was sitting there. Boy, y'all, I was stressing looking for these videos earlier. I was like, man, these motherfuckers scrubbed it from YouTube. And they tried, but we still got it. So let me let this play some more.
Will be tried in the Ivory Coast. Different? Different. Now, I got all excited about that, and this is different. Now, how could that happen?
So that black woman right there, they had her do a DNA test, right? And she got all happy when they told her the results of the first one. And they're about to give her the results of another one. And it's going to be something different. Oh, I remember what sparked it out, because Elder Malcolm I had mentioned, I'm going to have to go to one of the clips. Let's do this. Triplets get a DNA ancestry test and get 3 different fucking answers on multiple occasions. Triplets and twins. And they're the same so-called genetically. That's how you know it's a sham, y'all. One of them is getting told 20% that. The other one getting told 16% that. The other one getting told 40%. Like, what the fuck? We the same people, nigga. Damn near. You know, they got 3 different spirits, but the identical looking flesh and makeup. So that's how you know it's a sham. When 3 people can get 3 triplets can get 3 different answers, it's a sham.
Then a third company, Trace Genetics,
Your particular sequence matches sequences reported among multiple Mendanka individuals in Senegal.
What's up with this?
And Family Tree DNA, the company that linked Vi with Marion in the first place, came up with a whole list of matches. This goes on and on.
My goodness.
So what do we know about Vi's ancestry? The DNA does indicate that she has distant relatives in the Mende tribe, but she also has relatives in all those other tribes. So no one can say for sure where Vi's maternal ancestor actually came from. So no one can say for sure where Vi's maternal ancestor actually came from.
Or DNA kits called into question. They are the kind advertised on TV claiming to trace your ancestry. A woman says she used 2 different popular services to trace her family history and got wildly different results. Fox 32's Tia Ewing reports. And I was shocked.
Smith's breakdown from Ancestry showed 97% European and 2% Asian.
I'm a black girl. I am not a Jewish white lady. I'm black. My parents were black.
She contacted Ancestry with questions, but says a rep told her the results aren't accurate.
She told me there was no way they could have made an error.
Smith decided to try again, but this time she submitted a DNA to 23andMe.
And the results were very different, but they were not a surprise to me.
Oh, shit.
The 23andMe findings showed 70% African for Smith, after Ancestry's findings showed none.
Both kits can't be right. One of them has to be wrong.
These DNA tests for ethnicity are entertainment value only. Entertainment value only.
Entertainment value only.
Entertainment value only. Entertainment value only.
William Gilliland is a biology professor at DePaul. He says DNA kits can be great for connecting family members and finding relatives.
Exactly. So now that's one thing it is accurate in finding close relatives. You know, am I the father of this kid? Is this my mother? Is this my cousin? You can do that, right? But once you start going generations out the way, it is no longer accurate, you know? And that's something that, you know, you go put that in vocab's face, or those people who claim to be the people, and they start throwing up DNA this, DNA that, when you have their own scientists telling you this shit's not accurate. So who's lying and who's telling the truth?
But the science for ethnicity testing isn't as concrete.
There's nothing that confident for ethnicity. There's no diagnostic nucleotide. You can say this person is from Europe, this person's from Africa.
It's exciting to make discoveries like this, but if they're not true, it's heartbreaking.
When I handed Vi the certificate, she got extremely emotional about it. She wept, and it meant so very much.
People want to believe.
They want to believe they've gotten an answer.
And it's not fair of us to let them believe that we're giving them certain answers, because scientifically, we just can't.
Hank
And there he go, right there.
really is concerned that the science isn't really there yet for you to be giving them the name of a tribe.
I think for most companies, I would be concerned too.
But what about your own company?
We have
He
the
didn't
largest,
exclude you. He included you.
but we have the largest set of sequences from Africa, and so with that, we're able to provide some level of probability in terms of frequency.
But he would say that even though you have the largest database, it's still small on the scope of things.
As I said, I share those concerns
About yourself.
our DNA.
And that's the rub. This business of genetic genealogy is fraught with limitations. For one thing, it can only provide information about a tiny fraction of our ancestry. Because we get half our DNA from our mothers and half from our fathers, almost all of our DNA gets shuffled and remixed every generation, making it impossible to trace what comes from whom.
Now, you know, don't get too lost in the sauce. We trace it by way of the father's lineage, which we'll go to that. And that's something you come to understand just reading the scriptures. When son of, right? That's all you need. Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So the scriptures keep it simple and keep it true and plain. By the house of your fathers. That's all you needed. But here comes Esau, fucking shit up.
Comes from whom? There are just 2 bits of DNA that remain pure. The Y chromosome, which passes directly from father to son, and something called mitochondrial DNA, which passes unchanged from mother to child. Hank Greeley, a law professor at Stanford University, has studied this new field. He worries that people don't realize just how many ancestors they actually have.
8 generations ago, both you and I had 256 great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents.
Wait, you're saying...
Now, we keep, you just trace it through your father's line, now everybody, you have 4 grandparents, 2 on your father's side, 2 on your mother's side, so it does multiply each time you go backwards. That's why we don't get into all that. All right, and ultimately, we deal with what out here, y'all? The spirit. Because none of us have the ability to accurately pull up a fucking scale or a graph and to go all the way back. That's a part of the faith. And the Heavenly Father did that on purpose to see truly who believed and who doesn't. Because you're going to have brothers and sisters who don't look like Israelites who are. And you're going to have motherfuckers who do look like Israelites, but they're fucking tares and heathen. The Heavenly Father set that all into play on purpose. Romans 8 and 16. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. All right, the Heavenly Father set that up on purpose. So this shows a lack of faith, running that route. Oh, I need you to go prove it. That's a lack of faith.
If you go back 8 generations, we have 256 great-great-great-grandparents?
Yes, it doubles every generation. So you've got 2 parents, you have 4 grandparents, you have 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, and it adds up fast. It adds up so fast, in fact, that if you go back 20 generations, you've got over 1 million grandparents.
1,048,576 to be exact. And in each generation, DNA testing can provide information about only 2 of them.
So you could be Peruvian on your mother's side, Japanese on your father's side, Swedish on everything else.
And you'll never...
So all that matters that he just showed that one, that Japanese, Swedish, and whatever. Well, if you're tracing it through your father's side, then then motherfucker's Japanese. All right. So you see the confusion that Esau has done on purpose, so you don't know who you are. That's on purpose.
You'll never know the Swedish from the Y chromosome or the mitochondrial DNA.
Now, you've looked at several of these companies that are doing these tests.
Yes.
Do you think that they explain what you just explained to us?
No, I don't think any of them does as good a job of pointing out the limitations. But, businesses often don't go around telling you how weak their product is.
We don't oversell. I mean, we just say, look, we provide a service. If you're interested in exploring a tiny bit of your DNA and trace its ancestry, we can do that.
When you say it's a tiny little amount,
It's a less than 0.1%. 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 It's a less than 0.1%.
and that's pretty teeny.
Yeah, but for people who know nothing about any of them, I think it's very important.
So you see that he's a fucking devil. He's well trained by the white man. So that's about it, y'all. Yeah, hey, all through the spirit. Literally, we don't need pieces of paper and plaques. And hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai got all that for us. We gonna find out who we directly descend from here soon at the return of our Lord. All right, so with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all Dr. Akim Akwath, learning, teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom.